Hello there, and welcome to a PhD Mommy's Journey podcast. I'm your host, Bree, your bestie who also happens to be your biggest fan. I'm an educator, scientific researcher, and qualitative storyteller who uses science to give you valuable and useful tools you can use as a guide along your journey of discovering, developing, and designing your true potential. I believe everyone has a unique and special gift the world needs to experience, and I'm here to help you discover and develop it. My job is simple. I am here to help you understand one thing and one thing only. You have exactly the tools you need to create a rich and more fulfilling life, a life that you can enjoy, a life you want on your terms. Today, I'm going to continue on the fourth episode of the podcast series, How to Enjoy Life. On the third episode, I reviewed the third chapter of the book Unf Yourself by Gary Bishop. I highlighted on how our brains are hardwired to win. If you are new to my podcast, first, I would like to say welcome and thank you for listening. My name is Bree. I'm a PhD candidate, scientific researcher, and an educator who is conducting a science experiment on myself on how to enjoy a more fulfilling and a better life. I read this book and I learned, and I continue to learn, more about myself and more about the world around me as I use this book as a fundamental framework in rebuilding myself and creating the best version of me every single day. This series covers the 9 chapters of this book. My goal is to help you discover your own tools and also share ways I developed my tools in hopes that you can add to your own toolbox to help create a better system for you and the ones you love. As a researcher, educator, and more importantly, a human being, I am committed to helping you have a sense of self-worth, self-love, self-esteem, self-confidence, and most importantly, self-efficacy. As you become better, you inspire those around you to also become better. I am on a mission to create a new world, a world that allows us to freely discover, develop, and design a life we truly love and enjoy. The title of Chapter 4 is I Got This. Everyone has their problems, and life isn't always perfect. It never will be. If you are a mom like me, there's a strong possibility that you're known as mommy, mom, mother, ma, ma'am, mama, whatever. However, if you are a mom like me, there's also probably another strong possibility that you might feel like you're failing as a mom. You're not alone. Let's talk about it. Okay, so here's a scoop. Being a mom is super, super hard. There's so many things to do in such a short amount of time. The house always seems to be a mess. Dirty laundry needs to be washed. Washed clothes need to be dried. Dried clothes needs to be put away. Doctor's appointments. Oh my goodness, I forgot to schedule my daughter's dentist. Groceries. I forgot to buy the groceries and actually put in an order. Bills need to be paid. So much more. On top of that, we're also supposed to be taking care of ourselves. We're supposed to eat right, work out, get enough sleep, also stay sane. But who has time for that when you're literally trying to do it all? Am I right or am I right? Now, you may be one of those moms who have it all put together. And if you do, hand clap for you. Let me be real. I smell. I'm exhausted. I am so overwhelmed. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm a failure. I'm a bad mom. I suck at being a mom. I hate being a mom. I regret being a mom. I'm stressed. I'm unhappy. Does this sound like you? Guess what? You are not alone. There are so many moms who feel like they are failing every single day. They feel hopeless. They feel indecisive in their decisions. And they're also unsure of what to do. I mean, look at us. We are all riding the motherhood struggle bus. All aboard. I don't know about you, but the struggle is so real. I too struggle with feeling inadequate as a mother. Being a mom is such a huge responsibility. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will ever be more than this job. Being a mom is the most intense, life-changing experience only a mom can really understand. Motherhood is this weird, strange phenomenon, if you will, where you start to question your purpose. I don't know about you, but I've transformed into this new sense of self. And I hope the decisions that I make do not negatively impact my kids too much. Let's be real, motherhood, it does not come with a manual. In fact, the way how you actually mother to one child may be different to another child. Regardless of how terrible you feel or how good you feel, guess what? You are failing as a mom. You heard that right. You are failing as a mom. Here's the thing about failure. Failure is not final. It's not the final destination. In fact, it is a new foundation. It is a learning experience. It allows you to look and assess the situation. It allows you to examine, how in the world did I end up here at this situation? And how the hell do I get out of this situation? Here's the truth. Nobody cares. Your friends don't care. Your boss does not care. Your spouse doesn't care. Your preacher doesn't care. Your accountant doesn't care. Nobody cares. Once you are truly, and I mean you have to truly understand that no one cares about the obstacles and the challenges you face, you will be able to move on. You'll learn that you can live freely as who you were destined and designed to be. Regardless of any situation, regardless of any setback, embrace it. Everyone has their problems, and life isn't always perfect. It never will be. Here's the scoop. We all have problems. Problems are questions we may have trouble understanding and solving. For example, one problem that I had was trying to understand why my best friend passed away. The quote that I just read was very profound to me because I realized how true it really is. Regardless of who you are, what you look like, you will always encounter some type of problem. You will always have some type of obstacle or some type of challenge that you'll have to overcome. I mean, you can literally have all of the money in the world and it doesn't matter. You will still encounter some type of problem in your life. As a researcher, I love problems. Problems make me so happy because I get to be part of this investigative process. It's almost like being a detective. As a child, I've always wanted to be a detective, thanks to Olivia Benson, aka Mariska Hargitay, and Elliot Stabler, aka Christopher Maloney, and of course, the rest of the SVU squad. I've always been a reader. Actually, when I was in middle school, my school library, they had the entire Nancy Drew collection. I read it twice because I literally love Nancy Drew. I thought it was so cool because she was this girl who solved all of these problems. Now, middle school was a very long time ago, but I really don't remember anything about her parents. However, my belief is that they believed in her a lot because she solved all of this crime. So she did what she was supposed to do. Now, when I finished reading Nancy Drew, I was super disappointed because I didn't know what else to read. I remember the librarian suggested that I read The Hardy Boys. And I was like, excuse me? Nancy, she solved all of these crimes by herself. Why in the world would I read a book about three boys who try to do what one girl did? Anyways, with that being said, You need to be like a scientist. Be happy for the problems. Embrace those obstacles and look forward towards the challenge. In psychology, education, social science, and other academic disciplines, there's this word that we use, and it's called phenomenon. A phenomenon is a general result that has been observed reliably in a systematic empirical research. In other words, a phenomenon is used to establish an answer to a question. Now, one example of a phenomenon that a lot of people are aware of is called the bystander effect. Now, the bystander effect is a phenomenon that has been repeatedly proven, and it says that whenever there is some type of emergency situation, if there are a lot of people present, there is going to be a reduced chance that someone will actually do something about it. Again, this is a general results, which means that multiple studies have been conducted, and all of the findings seem to point to the same answer. In life, there's one phenomenon that all humans will encounter. It's called a negative experience. More specifically, this is a negative experience that sometimes we call life. Life is simply life. Life is everything. Life is nothing. Life is fun. Life is boring. Life is sad. But life is also happy. Life is scary, but life is exciting and hopeful and scary and full and empty. Life is full of experiences that are waiting to happen. So here's the real about the experiences that we encounter in our life. The experiences that we encounter in our life are full of surprises. We don't get to pick and choose these experiences. However, we do get to pick and choose how we respond to those experiences. You don't judge somebody by what they face. You judge somebody by who they become while they are facing what they are facing. Maybe you're like this person. You're enjoying life. You're planning your family vacation cruise. And then boom, your spouse says, I want a divorce. You end up losing your job the next day because you were crying all night. Then 2 months later, you're one of the finalists at a top executive firm for a job interview. You're a bit nervous, but you start to pick yourself back up. You start to defy all those odds, and you're making some good progress. It's down to the wire, but you pull through at the last second. Then you get the phone call that you've been waiting for, only to be told that they are going with the other candidate. What? Ugh, stuff like this always happens, you tell yourself. You get so frustrated and you decide to take a drive around town. Ugh, I can never catch a break, you tell yourself. And you can. As you're driving home, you realize that there are a lot of fire trucks that are just passing you by. What happened now? You ask yourself. Not again. Another issue, right? Only when you pull up to your house, all the fire trucks are at your house, putting out a fire in your house. Crap, I forgot to turn the stove off, you tell yourself. Yeah, you forgot to turn the stove off and you burned dinner. Only this time, you lost your home, your safe haven, the only place that you could freely and truly be yourself, gone, all because you were careless. I mean, think about it. Do you even make your bed? You tell yourself, it's just a bed. I don't see how it can really mean anything. Only it kind of does. Once you understand this, and I mean, you really have to understand this, you will start to realize that you are the perfect version of yourself already. All you need to do is give yourself permission to become that person. I'm here to tell you, you got this. I love this quote. The thing is, the negative experiences we have rarely stay contained to that one issue. They spread. Like a toxic chemical, they seep into all aspects of our lives. End quote. You probably heard the saying that it is not the snake bite that kills a person, but it is the venom inside. Instead of looking at all of these experiences as problems, start to look at these as opportunities, a new lease on life, a second chance. Start to look at them with excitement as an opportunity to learn more about yourself. Be thankful for the divorce. Imagine being married and miserable. Be thankful for that breakup. Be thankful for not getting the call back from the interview. Be thankful for the eviction. Be thankful for the loss of a love. Be thankful for everything. In other words, stop having this negative outlook on life. Stop being so miserable. Nobody likes a negative Nancy. Nobody likes a Debbie Downer. Stop trying to be Angelica. Be Susie Carmichael. I mean, why would you be a mean girl like Lindsay Lohan when you can be the valedictorian like Elle Woods? I get it. You're stressed. You're tired. You're overwhelmed. You're disengaged. You're ready for change. You want to be happy. You're ready for change. You want to be happy. Well, what do you get by complaining about it every single day? That's what I thought. We've all played this small violin for so long. I mean, we've blamed everyone down the list, including the dog. There isn't anyone else to blame except you. Yeah, you're the one to blame. Take ownership of the situation, accept the responsibility, and make sure to vow that this will never happen again. Once you do that, you can start living your life on your own terms. You got this. Anytime obstacles come near your way, say it loud and say it proud. I got this. You do. You do have it because you have exactly all the tools needed to maximize your full potential. I mean, you're a great person. You're a phenomenal individual. If you're a mom, guess what, mama? You are a great mom. You are a phenomenal mom. I mean, you're doing great. Other moms, they wish they could mom like you. Just remember, there's always room for improvement. Perfection isn't something that can actually be obtained, but it is something that we should always strive for. There's no such thing as picture perfect. There's just you and all that you are. Socrates stated, if all misfortunes were laid in one common heap, whence everyone must take an equal portion, most people would be content to take their own and depart. Now, I think this is an important quote to just briefly talk about because there are so many times that people keep on focusing on their problems compared to other people's problems. They start looking at other people and saying, oh, woe is me. But they fail to realize that there are so many people who have it way worse than you. If you're listening to this podcast, chances are you're probably not suffering like a young child who has no food at all in Los Angeles, California. Or you probably don't have to worry about where your next meal is going to come from because you always have options. I mean, I get it. You have problems. You face many challenges. Maybe you're homeless. Maybe you're addicted to drugs. Maybe you have low self-esteem. You might be broke. That's okay. As long as you're not dead, everything is psychological. It's all in your head. It's all in your mental state. Once you understand that you really need to control your mind, you will then start to realize, hey, you can live a better life. There are so many people right now who are hurting. There are so many people who are in this emotional bondage and who are really suffering. I mean, you don't have to travel across the globe or swim the seven seas. You can go to the nearest gas station. You can go to Walmart. You can look around at church. You can see it in your students. There are a lot of people who are going through a lot of things in life. When you hear the stories and the challenges that many people face, you start to look at your own problems as nothing. Now, I'm not doing this to downplay whatever you're going through or whatever you have experienced. I'm trying to help you put your problems into a new perspective. When you place them into a new perspective, something beautiful can actually happen. You can start to take ownership of your problems. You'll start to realize it's all in your mind. You are stronger than you think. You need to understand that things just happen. There are going to be things that no one can help you with. Nevertheless, it's just life. The loss of a loved one, the suffering of a young child, the pain of a grieving mother. There are going to be times and there are going to be things that will happen beyond your control. There will be things that suck. There are going to be life-changing events that happen. And again, it won't matter how much money you have. It won't matter how big your house is. It won't even matter who you are or who you know. There are going to be events that no one, and I mean no one, can help. Money can't pay for it. You can't fix it. You can't buy it. It just happens. And that happens to every single person, regardless of your skin color, regardless of your background, regardless of your educational achievements, regardless of anything. Life will, and life always will, humble you. Whenever you're faced with challenges, I want you to try a different approach. Instead of complaining about those problems, be thankful for those problems. Start looking at things that you're grateful for and write it down. Write down the good, write down the bad, write down everything. Don't even worry about separating what's good and what's bad. Just be grateful for all of it. Think about all those times you've overcome big obstacles in your life. I remember when my best friend died a year ago. I never thought I would accept or get over it. I remember when my daughter was born at 3 pounds and she was intubated and I was in the NICU experiencing so much pain. I never thought I would get over it. But hey, look at me now. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell that my daughter was even a preemie baby. And preemie babies, they are a different type of breed. If you're a preemie mom, you understand what I mean. I survived. What about you? What are your scars? You finally got over that ex? You finally lost that weight? Have you experienced loss? Were you fired? Embrace it all. The good, the bad, the ugly. Accept it and grow from it. When you do that, you can look towards the future. The future is based upon our imagination. However, before you have to think about the future, you have to think about the past. I want you to think about your own past. Think about all of the good things that you've encountered in your life. Think about the best friends that you made. Think about the teams that you were part of. Think about your favorite teacher. Think about that birthday party. Think about all the things that have made you smile. Think about your first time that you actually got to hold your baby. Think about the day that you got married. Whatever it is, think about the good times. As in life, there's always an equal and opposite force. I want you to also think about the not so good times, the challenging times, the times where you felt like you weren't good enough, the times that you felt defeated, those times you felt embarrassed, that you cried all night, you cried yourself to sleep, or those times where you didn't cry because you were all cried out. You felt hopeless. Those nights you felt like, I just want to die because you couldn't get over that ex. Heartbreak, pain, trauma, pain is real. Negative experiences are real. Embrace the darkness. And I mean, really embrace that darkness. The things that you are searching for are going to be located in the places that you don't want to go look. In the darkest pains of your life, you can also find the equal and opposite form, the brightest passion of your life. And that could be a really beautiful thing if you allow it to happen. Here's the thing. It's your job to make it happen. Let this darkness teach you more about yourself. Let it open up to you and reveal to you its ugly head that is an exact reflection of your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior. The trauma, the pain, the despair. Those times you felt, this is the end. I can't do this anymore. Only you did. You set a new foundation. You made a comeback. You became stronger, tougher, wiser, and more determined. You established a new level and you gained tactical advantage on the situation. You maintained pressure. You held the line. You gained more insight and understanding of your situation. In fact, you gained more insight and understanding to life. Identify those negative thoughts. There's something called the cognitive model that I find to be very important to understand. Our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors are all interconnected by this model. What that means is that your mind, your emotion, and more importantly, your behaviors impact and depend on one another. Your thoughts and how you perceive things is very important. It's very important because it dictates your emotions. Your emotions dictate your behavior. Despite how you feel, despite how ugly you think you look, despite how unworthy you feel, despite how less than you feel, I'm here to tell you, you are still alive. You have another opportunity to keep moving forward, to hold the line, to push, to persevere, to endure, to become stronger, to become faster, to become more well-equipped, to become better. You will soon understand that the obstacle is the way. Resistance is where you need to go and seek counsel in your adversities. Solitude is your savior. If you're not dead, you have another opportunity. You are strong. You are wise. You are intelligent. You have gained a new experience. Keep pushing. Go beyond your limits. Redefine your limits. Delimit yourself by creating the life you want. Today, right here, right now. Live your life on your terms, exactly how you want it to be. Go on that date. Travel to that country. Do all of those things that you have always dreamed of doing. Live life without any regrets. Stop wasting time because you can't get time back. Nobody, and I mean nobody, knows how, when, where, or why they will die. But they will die. You will die. Accept it. Move forward. What do you gain by accepting death? Life. A new life. One that you can actually enjoy. All you have to do is keep moving forward. Keep pushing towards your dark areas. Look inside of those dark secrets. Uncover those skeletons, that trauma, that pain, that darkness. Take the blanket off of those hidden areas. As Aristotle said, it is during our darkest moment that we must focus to see the light. End quote. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Darkness cannot exist without light. Consequently, life cannot exist without darkness. In order to see the light, you've got to search for the dark. You will always have problems. You will always have trials, obstacles. There's always going to be something going on in your sea of some things. Are you just going to jump and abandon ship? Or are you going to forge a new path? Are you going to stand up strong with your head held high, shoulders back, and face that challenge? That challenge to become who you had dreamed of becoming and actually become that person. When you start to identify those negative self-talks, whenever you're trying to become a better version of yourself, you'll realize those excuses are excuses that are lies. You've been programmed to believe you can't be your true self. You've been told you need to look, think, act, speak, and behave a certain way. Assess the situation. Restructure your focus. Shift your perspective and realize this is just a small, simple task you can actually handle. It's not going to kill you. And if it does, good. At least you died trying. Trying and failing is better than not trying at all and wondering. If you fail, try again. If you fail again, try again. And again. And again. And again. Be obsessed with winning. Be competitive. Be relentless. Have a winning mindset. You may not have all of the answers. That's okay. All you need is the will. You need the belief. You also need discipline. Keep going. On the days you feel like it, and on the days that you don't, keep moving forward. Keep going. If you really want it, then go out and get it. As a young girl, I've always wanted to be in the Navy. I don't have any family members in the armed forces. In fact, most of my family, they're not even in the United States. But somehow, I've always been fascinated and obsessed with anything military. As a young girl, I remember when I got my Xbox and I learned how to play Call of Duty. It was like the Xbox 360. I played Call of Duty for probably like 12 hours. And of course, being a sailor is not what you see on Call of Duty, but Call of Duty helped to create, foster, and cultivate my passion for wanting to be a sailor. Yesterday, I met a sailor who reignited that same burning desire and passion that I've had to join the Navy. So therefore, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and I am going to actively pursue my goal of becoming a sailor in the United States Navy. I believe I can be a great mom, a wife, a sister, friend, educator, researcher, and now I also believe that I can be a great sailor. I am 1,000% fully committed, engaged, and ready to accomplish this task. I know there's going to be a lot of times along the way that is going to be difficult, but that's life. If I want to be honest with you, I'm willing to die to become a sailor. Of course, I'm nervous. I know I got a lot of work to do. I've got a lot of ground to cover. I haven't really worked out since I had my daughter, and she is almost 2. But guess what? I've gained new ground on top of a couple new pounds, but I've also gained experience. I've gained resilience. I've gained resistance. I've got more ground to cover, but I know I got this. I know that I can become a sailor. I believe that I can become a sailor. I'm afraid, but I don't have any doubt. What's your challenge? What are you avoiding? What are you hiding from? Examine the problem areas in your life. Write it down. Own those challenges. Own them because you got this. Say it with me 3 times. I got this. I got this. I got this. You got it. Go out, go get it. Take what's yours. Leave no stone unturned. Blaze your own new, true, authentic, forged path. This was podcast episode 4, How to Enjoy Life. You Got This, where I highlighted on understanding everyone experiences challenges and hardships. Your mind, emotion, and behavior are interconnected. You are never alone. Motherhood is the toughest hood you'll ever go through. Nobody, and I mean nobody, cares. And last but not least, life is a series of experiences. The more you realize you can do anything, you can start to set your mind to achieve anything. You can live a life where people can really sit down and talk through the process of becoming great. You have to go out and seek the hardships. You have to extend your viewpoint. You may have to take a few steps back. You may need to look at the bigger picture. You may need to change your perspective or your positioning. You can always take a few more steps back if you need to. Discover. Go back. Go back to the drawing board. Find out who you are. Find out your purpose. Find out your desires. Develop. Learn how to enhance your craft. Learn how to become a better person. Develop yourself. Develop your body. Develop your mind. Develop self-discipline. Develop patience and peace and perseverance. Once you do those things, you can start designing. You can design and create a rich and fulfilling life that you want it to be. Remember, I'm only here to help you understand this one thing. You, yes, you, have exactly the tools you need to redefine your life and change it how you want it to be. I'm here because I give you tools. These tools you can add in your toolbox, and hopefully they will help you improve your own system. You are the one who has to make the actual change once you accept and once you are willing to start living and enjoying a life you actually love. I believe in you. You got this. Thanks for listening to the PhD Mommy's Journey. Feel free to subscribe to this series wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow me on Instagram at the PhD Mom Life, or you can always go to our website at www.aphdmommy.com. Go and blaze a new world. Good luck.